Welcome back again, everyone. I'm Lynn Doyle. This is It's Your Call, and our topic this hour is Bill Clinton. Now, if you're saying to yourself, why are we talking about Bill Clinton? Well, there's a new book out. It's called A Complicated Man, The Life of Bill Clinton as Told by Those Who Know Him. It's by my guest, author Michael Takiff. And we're giving you an opportunity to tell us how you think Bill Clinton will be remembered. Is he perhaps one of the best presidents that we've ever had in this country? Would you like to actually see him back in power at some point? Or do you think that he left office in disgrace and his legacy will be one of nothing but cheating and lying and scandals, that kind of thing? If you want to tell us what you think, email me at lynn@lynndoyle.net. I'm going to share a couple of comments and then I'm going to get Michael's take on it. Chris has written us and said, quote, he is a cheating husband who got a pass from now for using his power of office on a female intern. See, we always go back. No matter how hard I try to get away from Monica Lewinsky, everything always seems to lead back to her. Is that frustrating for him and those who know him?
It's terrible for him. Someone makes the point in the book, it's a great point. When you think of the famous words associated with politicians, John F. Kennedy, ask not what your country can do for you, and so on. Ronald Reagan, Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall. What words do you first come to mind with Bill Clinton? I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Miss Lewinsky. And when I do the talk in bookstores and at libraries, we all do it in unison. You know,
it's interesting you say that because I'm just sitting here thinking about Richard Nixon. I am not a crook. And that just stayed with him for, until the day he died. It's almost sad, though, because to think that this is what's going to follow this man to his grave.
It's sad for him and it's sad for the country, absolutely.
And there she is. And not only the country, but his family and those who do care about him. All right, let's move on here because Jim has written us and said he doesn't want to talk about Monica or any of the scandals. He says, under Bill Clinton, the economy was the best it had ever been. And this is something that Mark agrees with. Mark says, economically speaking, he was at the right place at the right time. And one has to wonder if you are correct in your assessment, which I think we all agree, that at the end of his term is when we had our best economy in the last decade. Why aren't we able to duplicate what he did when he was in office if the economy, prospered under him so much?
Well, we've just had different leadership. When George W. Bush came into office, he said, well, we're cutting taxes on rich people, and the Congress really hasn't been able to raise them. So, ever since, we also had the unfunded wars, two of them, Iraq and Afghanistan. So the deficit has skyrocketed. Bill Clinton left with a large surplus in the federal budget deficit. It was an important accomplishment.
Yes, it certainly was. But you would wonder now if someone like President Obama would look to him.
Right.
Or does his ego get in the way? Would you think that a current president could call upon a past president and say, hey, what would you do if you were in this position, or do they not do that?
I don't think there's much of that. I think there's a coolness between the two men. There was a rivalry. It came from the 2008 campaign. Don't forget, Barack Obama was competing for the hearts of Democratic voters, the Democratic base. These are people who really had pledged their first allegiance to Bill Clinton. Right. So there's a real rivalry there.
Yeah, and it's interesting, too, that now Hillary Clinton is right in the middle of that.
Yes.
And a lot of people look at her and say that it was just remarkable for her to be able to take that position when she so badly wanted to be the president, and then for Bill Clinton to have to support her and consequently President Obama at the same time. That it's a real dichotomy there of where their loyalties are.
Well, it's complicated. It's certainly a dynamic.
It's complicated.
We can't tell what's going on behind the scenes.
No, it's a complicated. That's why the book is called It's a Complicated Man. It should be called It's a Complicated Life. It's a whole thing. Everything that touches the Clintons seems like it's complicated. What do you think happens next in his life?
He's going to continue traveling the world. In addition to doing his fine work, which he does now, let's also put the other side of it. And with Bill Clinton, there's always another side. He makes at times $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 for giving a speech somewhere. He's speaking, I think, to the National Rug Association, the trade group for rugs. I don't know the exact name. He's getting $200,000 for that. There are people. There's someone in the book, particularly Lawrence O'Donnell, the MSNBC commentator. He says he talks about how unseemly it is for a former president, how undignified it is for a former president to be doing that sort of thing. So he's doing that, but at the same time, he continues to do very good work with the Clinton Foundation. Okay, so AIDS, Northern Ireland, the Balkans, the tax code, these are all the things that after your interviews, you say these are the positives. Absolutely. The Monica Lewinsky's, the lying, the impeachment, that kind of thing.
you know, that's on the negative side.
Right.
Was there one thing that you learned in doing these interviews that surprised you, that you learned about the private man that perhaps had not been made public?
I think it's what I was talking about how he's so human. There's a great anecdote. There are many great anecdotes.
But we know he's human. I mean,
but here's one of them. This you're going to love this one. He's on Air Force One. He's in the staff, sort of the conference room. There's a big screen there. His staff is watching a movie. Bill Clinton is, as usual, multitasking. He's playing hearts. He's doing a crossword puzzle. He's having a policy discussion with an aide. Every so often, he checks in to find out what's going on in this movie. What movie is the leader of the free world so interested in? Dumb and Dumber.
I'm just going to not touch that one at all because that would just get me in trouble. Okay, if you want more anecdotes like that, you have to get this book. It's called A Complicated Man, The Life of Bill Clinton as Told by Those Who Know Him. 170 plus interviews starting from his infancy until today. So if you want to know more about Bill Clinton, get this book. It's by Michael Takeoff. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
And I wish you continued success with the book. And thank you for giving us some insight into the former president. As always, we want to know what you think. So if you want to email me, I'm at lynn@lynndoyle.net. Until the next time, my thanks to my crew and to you for watching. We'll see you.